So, good morning everyone. My name is Carl Steven G. Legaspi. My topic is all about the defense mechanism and the stage of development. So, now let's proceed to the defense mechanism. So, in Sigmund Freud psychoanalytic theory, defense mechanism are the psychological strategy that the mind uses to protect itself from anxiety, stress, or unacceptable thoughts and feelings. So sometimes, 'di ba, we experience thoughts or emotion that are too painful para sa atin or difficult to handle directly, such as yung trauma, fear, or even yung guilt natin. So, example, meron tayong situation, we dealing with past trauma. So, we use defense mechanism to hide the effect of traumatic memories or negative past experience natin. So, our mind is unconsciously develops way to reduce emotional discomfort. In short is, siya yung tumutulong sa atin to maintain our mental health in the face of challenging or even yung painful experience natin in life. So, that is defense mechanism. So, now let's proceed to the repression. So, si repression is unconscious process of blocking out painful or distressing thoughts, memories, or emotions from unconscious awareness. It is considered the most basic and fundamental defense mechanism in psychoanalytic theory because it is underlined and influence many others defense mechanism. So, paano ba nag-work si repression? So, si repression is parang kapag may mga memories o feelings tayong sobrang sakit o natatakot na hindi natin kayang harapin is, so yung utak natin is parang automatic na may tinatago sila para hindi natin maalala o maramdaman. Hindi natin sila consciously naiisip pero apektado pa rin sila sa mga actions natin. Halimbawa na lang is may traumatic experience tayo pero hindi natin matandaan o hindi natin maalala consciously pero nararamdaman pa rin natin yung anxiety or fear na connected sa experience na yon. Kasi kahit hindi natin naalala yung event, naka-express pa rin sa utak natin na parang may tinatago siya sa atin para hindi tayo directly masaktan. So, repression is pinaka-basic na defense mechanism. Ibig sabihin, ito yung unang nagdi-defense sa utak natin para maprotektahan tayo sa emotional pain. It's lead to other defense mechanism kasi kung hindi natin kayang harapin yung emotions or memories na mahanap mo sa ibang paraan para makaiwas. So parang it's like the mind way of saying na huwag mo munang isipin kasi masyadong masakit. Kaya kahit hindi natin siya maaalala or naaalala, pwede pa rin siyang mag-reflect sa mga feelings natin o di kaya sa behavior natin. Parang repression is nagiging silent protector sa atin kahit hindi natin siya namamalayan. So, that is repression. So, next is reaction formation. So, si reaction formation is a defense mechanism where a repressed impulse or feelings is unconsciously transformed into opposites. Essentially, when a person has thoughts, emotions, or desire that are unacceptable or cause anxiety, they may adopt behaviors or attitudes that are directly opposite to those feelings. This defense mechanism helps protect the people or person from the anxiety that would came from acknowledging the original repressed impulse. So, reaction formation guys is kapag may nararamdaman kang hindi maganda o hindi mo tanggap, so instead of saying it or facing it is gagawin mo yung kabaliktaran para siyang defense mechanism ng mind mo para maiwasan yung anxiety o hindi magandang feeling na nararamdaman mo. It's like galit, kunyari example, galit ka sa isang tao pero hindi mo kayang tanggapin na galit ka. Instead of showing you're angry, baka magpakita ka pa ng sobrang kabaitan or sweetness sa kanila. Parang ang opposite ng nararamdaman mo. Hindi mo kasi namamalayan na ginagawa mo yung yun para para hindi mo harapin yung galit na yon. So in short, reaction formation is like wearing a mask na parang bawal magalit. Kaya nagpapakita ka ng sobrang opposite na emotion para hindi mo kayang harapin yung conflict or inner conflict mo. It's like covering up your true feelings with the complete opposite, kasi mas madali yun kaysa harapin yung uncomfortable emotions natin. So that is reaction formation. So now let's proceed to the displacement. So displacement, a defense mechanism where a person redirect their unacceptable or anxiety-provoking impulse, thoughts, or emotion from original target or safer or less threatening object or person. This allowed the person to express their emotions or urgency without confronting the source of conflict directly. Its essence, the original impulse is displaced into something or someone else, making it less threatening or more socially acceptable. So, si displacement is like when you're feeling something super strong, like angry, frustration, or anxiety, but you cannot really express it to the person or situation that caused it. Your mind just redirect those feelings to something or someone else. It's like the way of letting out those emotions without facing the real issues. For example, guys, is kung galit ka sa boss mo pero hindi mo kayang pagsabihin. So, ginawa mo is pagka-uwi mo sa bahay nyo is saka ka lang magagalit sa pamilya mo o kaya magtampo ka sa mga kaibigan mo. Hindi mo kasi directly hinaharap yung galit mo sa boss mo, kaya iniiwasan mo siya at ilalabas mo yung emotion mo sa ibang tao na hindi ka takot o hindi ka nagbabayad ng consequences. So basically, si displacement is like shifting your emotion from a real source of stress to something or someone else na feeling mo okay lang sa kanya or safe lang sasabihin sa kanya. Para hindi ka magka-conflict pero still na-express mo pa rin yung feelings mo. So, instead of facing the real problem is nilalabas mo na lang sa ibang tao or bagay para hindi makaranas ng anxiety or tension. So now let's proceed to the fixation. Fixation is a defense mechanism that occurs when an individual becomes stuck or overly focused on a particular stage of psychological development. According to Sigmund Freud, psychoanalytic theory, psychological growth normally proceeds through a series of stages such as the oral, anal, and the phallic stage. Each stage is characterized by certain challenges or needs that must be resolved for healthy emotional development. However, if a person experiences unresolved conflict or unmet needs during one of this stage is they may become fixated that stage. So, kumbaga, si fixation is parang kapag na-stuck ka na sa isang part ng emotional growth mo. So, sabi nga ni Freud, habang lumalaki tayo is dumadaan tayo sa iba't ibang stage tulad ng pagka-baby na nagfo-focus sa sucking or feeding. Then, magpapati train tayo or pag dumadaan tayo sa puppy train. Tapos, makikilala natin yung difference ng boys and girls sa bawat stage na to. So, may mga challenges na or needs na kailangan ma-solve para mag-grow tayo sa emotionally. Pero kung may unresolved issues tayo dati o hindi nakuha na kailangan mo during one of these stage is like kulang sa love or attention nung baby ka pa, is maaari kang ma-stuck sa emotional stage or stage na yun kahit tumanda ka na. Parang hindi ka makalabas sa emotional stage na yun. So halimbawa na lang guys is kung hindi mo naranasan yung security or love nung baby stage ka o yung oral stage ka, baka paglaki mo is magkahabit ka ng sobrang pagkain, maninigarilyo ka, o kailangan laging affection or reassurance kumbaga. Minsan hindi mo alam na yung behavior mo is connected pala siya sa unresolved feeling from that stage na yon. So in short guys, is fixation is nangyayari kapag hindi ka makamove on sa emotionally sa mga unresolved issues sa past mo, at nagre-reflect siya sa mga actions o behavior natin kahit na hindi mo alam kung bakit. So that is fixation. So now let's proceed to regression. So si regression is a defense mechanism in which an individual reverts to behavior, thoughts, or emotional response that are characteristic of an early developmental stage when they experience stress, anxiety, or overwhelming emotion. When faced with the challenges, anxiety, or emotional discomfort, a person may unconsciously regress or go back to the more childlike, less mature state in order to cope with the situation. So si regression guys is kapag may stress, anxiety, o sobrang daming emotions na nararamdaman mo, is bumabalik ka sa behavior o thinking na parang mas bata ka pa. Parang mga ginagawa mo nung mas bata ka. Kung hindi mo kayang i-handle yung situation o hindi mo alam paano harapin yung emotions mo, ang utak natin is parang bumabalik sa mas simple o childlike na way of coping. So halimbawa na lang guys is kunwari may lumapit na or malupit tayong problema. So tulad ng breakup o sobrang stress sa trabaho, baka bigla na lang natin maghanap ng comfort, or bigla na lang tayo maghanap ng comfort na mga bagay na yung mga dati nating ginagawa nung bata tayo. So tulad ng pagka-tramtum, naglalaro ng sa bahay. So yung parang like more childish kumbaga, like ganun. So hindi man natin talaga pinipilit na gawin yun, pero unconsciously yun yung paraan ng utak natin para mag-cope sa stress, para bumalik tayo sa isang mas safe or emotional states natin. So si regression is like emotional retreating to a time nung mas bata ka, kasi feeling mo mas madali o mas safe yung gawing ganung way to dealing with emotions. So sana magets nyo guys. So the next is projection. So projection is a defense mechanism where individuals unconsciously attributes their own unacceptable feelings, thoughts, or tendency to other people. In other words, instead of recognizing these feelings or impulse within themselves, they project them onto others, often accusing them of having the same emotion or characteristic that they themselves are trying to deny or suppress. So, si repress is kapag may mga feelings or thoughts o behavior ka na hindi mo kayang tanggapin sa sarili mo, is yung utak natin is parang itinatapon na lang parang tinatapon na lang sa ibang tao. So instead of facing those feelings sa sarili natin, is ina-attribute na lang natin sila sa ibang tao. So parang iniisip mong sila yung may mga ganong feelings o behavior kahit na sa atin lang pala. sa atin lang pala. So si projection guys is kapag may feelings or thoughts o behavior na kapag may feeling or thoughts o behavior ka na hindi mo kayang tanggapin sa sarili mo, yung mind mo is parang itinatapon na lang yung sa ibang tao. So instead of facing those feelings sa sarili mo is ina-attribute mo na lang sila sa ibang tao. Parang iniisip sila yung may ganung feelings o behavior kahit ikaw lang parang meron nun. So halimbawa na lang guys is insecure ka sa sarili mong abilities pero hindi mo kayang tanggapin, baka i-accuse mo yung ibang tao na insecure din. O di kaya kung may guilt ka na hindi ka tanggap, baka i-accuse mo na guilty rin sila kahit wala naman silang kasalanan. So that is projection. In short guys, si projection guys is parang kapag hindi mo kayang harapin yung mga unwanted feelings mo is ilalabas mo na lang sa ibang tao o mas madali kang mag-point ng finger kaysa harapin yung sarili mong emotions. So that is projection. So now let's proceed to the introjection. Introjection is a defense mechanism in which individual unconsciously incorporate the positive qualities, values, beliefs, or behavior of other person, often someone they admire or respect, into their own ego or sense of self. By doing this, the individual internalize these qualities, adopting them as their own, even though they may not originally belong to them. So, projection is kapag unconsciously kinukuha mo yung positive qualities, values, o beliefs ng ibang tao is usually yung mga taong hinahangaan o nire-respeto mo and ina-adapt mo sila sa sarili mong identity. Parang imbes na tingnan na lang sila from afar is ini-internalize mo na yung traits nila at unti-unti mo silang ginagaya kahit hindi naman nila originality sa'yo. So halimbawa guys is may isang bata na tinitingala ng magulang na palaging mabait at maunawain. Baka maging ganun din siya kahit hindi niya sinasadya. Parang kinuha nung bata yung values and behavior ng magulang niya para maging mas connected siya, para magkaroon siya ng lakas na parang sa magulang siya. So introduction or introjection is ito yung defense mechanism na nakakatulong sa mga tao para ma-feel yung security o connection dahil ginaya nila yung magagandang traits ng ibang tao. Karaniwang nangyayari to sa childhood, sa mga kabataan, kasi ang mga bata is madaling mag-internalize ng value kahit na or sa kanilang parents or role models. Pero pwede naman din sa atin sa adulthood, lalo na kung isang tao is may insecurity o gustong makaramdam ng strength or ability. So that is introjection. So now let's proceed to the sublimation. Sublimation is a defense mechanism where individuals redirect unacceptable impulse, especially sexual or aggressive one, into socially acceptable and productive activities. Instead of acting on those feelings in harmful ways, they are channeled into things like art, sports, work, or even yung intellectual pursuit niya. So si sublimation is like turning your feeling into something more or productive, na hindi lang para ma-handle yung emotions mo, kundi para mag-make ka ng cool stuff, parang isang magic trick kumbaga. Yung energy na hindi mo alam kung saan papunta pero napunta sa magandang gawa and meaningful. So, halimbawa na lang ng sublimation is meron kang kinainisan na bagay, imbis na magtapon ka ng gamit o magmura is baka gamitin mo yung inis mo pa sa mga magagandang bagay katulad ng pagdo-drawing, pag-painting, o di kaya yung magfo-focus ka na lang sa goals mo or sa works mo. Kasi instead of self-destruct is nag-self-improvement ka. So that is sublimation. So now let's proceed to the stage of development, the infantile period. One of the most important assumptions is that infant possess a sexual life and go through a period pre-genital sexual development during the first 4 or 5 years after birth. So si Freud is naniniwala siya from the moment na pinanganak tayo na nagsisimula tayong mag-develop hindi lang physically pero pati emotionally and sexually. Pero don't get me wrong, hindi ito yung adult level na sexuality, like pambata pa lang to. So natututo tayong kung paano natin makuha yung comfort and affection from the people around us. Para siyang pre-genital stage kung saan yung mga babies nag-explore sila their bodies and emotion in super innocent way, kung saan sila or kung paano sila inaalagaan ng parents nila during this time. May malaking effect yun sa future nila, personality, or emotional stability nila. So example, merong baby na laging yakap or binibigyan ng tamang alaga or pinapadede on time, magiging secured and confident siya habang lumalaki. Pero kung hindi naman masyadong nabibigyan ng affections or care, like laging iniiwang umiiyak or pinapabayaan, is pwedeng lumaki siyang may trust issue or laging naghahanap ng validation. So the next is the oral phase. So si oral phase is infant obtain life-sustained nourishment through the oral cavity, but behind that, they also gain pleasure through the act of sucking. So, ito na yung phase na literal na lahat ng bagay is gusto nilang isubo. Pacifier, laruan, kahit daliri nila. So, kasi for babies is yung bunganga nila, yung center, or yung bunganga nila or yung mouth nila yung center ng comfort or pleasure, kaya importante na mag-meet yung needs nila through proper care and affections. Kasi kung hindi, pwedeng mag-develop sila ng habits like thumb sucking, nail biting, or even overacting or smoking sa paglaki. So kung palaging nagre-respond si mama sa needs ni baby, like hindi pinapabayaan umiyak ng matagal or laging pinapadede sa tamang oras, so lalaki siyang secured and trusting. Pero kung inconsistent or nagle-letful, pwede siyang magkaroon ng oral fixations, like laging may kinakagat, emotionally eating, or even pagiging super talkative talkative niya para makuha yung attention na na-miss niya during oral phase. So the next is anal phase. So si anal phase, the aggressive drive which during the first year of life takes the form of oral sadism, reaches fuller developed during the second year when the anus emerge as the sexual pleasurable zone. So dito na nagsisimula magkaroon ng sense of control yung bata, lalo na sa bodily functions nila, aka potty training era. So sabi ni Freud is kung paano sila tinuturuan mag-control ng pagdumi o pag-ihi, nagre-reflect yun sa personality nila paglaki. Kung super strict and controlling yung parents sa pagpapati training, is pwedeng lumaki silang masyadong perfectionist at rigid. Pero kung sobrang chill at wala namang guidance, baka naman maging super messy or disorganized sila or makalat. So the next is phallic stage or phallic space. So approximately 3 or 4 years of age, children begin a third stage, infantile development. The phallic phase, a time when a genital area becomes the leading erogenous zone. So, dito na nagiging aware ang bata sa gender identity nila. Nagsisimula silang ma-curious about their bodies and difference between boys and girls. Pero, sabi ni F. Roy, dito na nagkakaroon ng crush yung kids or yung bata sa opposite sex parents and nakaka-feel siya ng slight rivals sa same-sex parents, which is totally normal naman. So, this stage plays a big role sa pagbuo ng gender roles at self-identity nila. So, for example, mayroong baby or mayroong bata na sobrang clingy sa mami niya, tapos parang ayaw niyang i-share si mama sa daddy niya, or merong babae na minsan parang nagsaselo siya kapag sweet ang parents niya sa isa't isa. So, classic example is yan yung phallic stage na eventually as they grow, na-realize nilang normal lang at natututo silang i-identify yung sarili nila with their same-sex parents. So, the next is the Oedipus, male and the female. So, first is male Oedipus. Male Oedipus is the condition of rivalry towards the father, and incestuous feelings towards the mother is known as the simple male Oedipus complex. So, ito na yung stage kung saan nagkakaroon ng attachment si little boy kay mommy at nakikita niyang kalaban or rival si daddy. So, feeling niya may competition sila sa love ni mommy, pero dahil natatakot siyang mapanis ni daddy is Freud called castration anxiety. Eventually, natututo siyang mag-identify kay daddy niya or papa niya na i-embrace yung pagiging lalaki niya. So, while naman si female Oedipus is the desire of sexual intercourse with the father and accompanying feelings of hostility for the mother are known as the simple female Oedipus complex. So, same but different sa boys. Dito naman kasi si little girl is nagkakaroon ng attachment sa tatay niya at minsan may konting rival kay mommy. Freud also believed in Venus EV, which to be honest controversial na concept ngayon. So meaning parang may feeling na parang feeling of inferiority kasi wala silang male anatomy, but eventually nare-resolve ito siya as they start to bond with their mom and embrace their female identity. So that is the male Oedipus and female Oedipus. So now let's proceed to the latency periods. This latency stage is brought about partly by parents' attempt to punish or discourage sexual activity in their young children. So ito na yung phase na chill lang sa sexual development. Wala masyadong focus sa sexuality, pero nagpo-focus siya sa more friendship, school, and habits. Dito na rin nade-develop yung social skills and self-confident ng isang bata sa labas ng kanyang pamilya. So example, mayroong 8 years old na sobrang hilig sa pagdodrawing, playing sports, or banding sa friends niya is wala siyang pake sa crush or romantic stuff kasi busy siya sa pagkikipagkaibigan at gusto niya makaroon ng learning new things. So the next is the genital period. Parallel to this, boys now see the female organ as the sought after object rather than the source of trauma. So ito na yung stage na kung saan nagiging mas mature yung sexual and emotional feelings. Unlike sa mga previous stage Dito laging more about real relationship and deeper connection yung focus. So, merong example, merong teenage na nagkaka-first crush or nagiging interest sa relationship in more meaningful way. Kung healthy ba yung childhood niya, is mas madali sa kanya na mag-build ng mature and stable relationship. Pero kung mas unresolved issue or kung meron siyang unresolved issue is from early stage, is pwedeng magkaka-trust issue or emotional struggle siya sa romantic relationship. So that is the genital period. So the last is the maturity. So maturity is the stage attained after a person has passed through the earliest developmental period in an ideal manner. So finally, this is the last, the maturity. If you're gone through all the stage successful, you reach maturity, meaning you figure out who you are, how to handle relationship, and how to live a balanced life. Hindi na siya masyadong na-affected ng childhood traumas mo or traumas natin and marunong ka nang mag-handle ng emotions and relationship in a healthy way. So, marunong na tayo mag-balance ng love life, work, friendship, and personal growth. Hindi na tayo dependent sa validation ng iba, and kaya na nating mag-handle ng mature relationship and life challenges nang hindi nasisira yung emotional stability natin. And that's all for my report, and I hope you learn something. Thank you.